Welcome back to Beemaster 79. Today we are going to clear up one of the most confusing corners of English grammar: used to, be used to, and get used to. They look almost the same, but they do three completely different jobs. By the end of this lesson you will know exactly which one to choose and why. Before we start, a quick test. Here are 4 sentences. 2 of them are wrong. Listen carefully.
I used to live in Kew when I was a child. 2. I used to get up at 5 o'clock. 3.
She is slowly getting used to the cold weather.
4. Did you used to play the piano?
Pause the video now and decide which 2 are wrong. Then keep watching, because by the end you will not just feel the answer. You will be able to explain it. Here is our plan. First, the single difference that explains everything, what comes after the little word to. Then each of the 3 structures in turn. Then pronunciation, the mistakes almost every learner makes and how these forms help you in the speaking and writing tests. And we finish with 2 practice sets and full answers. One honest note before we begin. Every example sentence in this video and the 2 speakers in the dialogue later on are invented by me for teaching. They are not quotations from any real person or from any published test paper. Let's start with the whole lesson on one slide. On the left, used to, followed by a base verb. That is a past habit or a past state which is finished.
I used to drink coffee.
Meaning, in the past, yes. Now, no. In the middle, be used to, followed by a noun or a name form. That is a state. Something feels normal to you.
I'm used to drinking coffee.
Meaning, coffee is normal for me. It does not surprise my body. On the right, get used to, again followed by a noun or a name form. That is a process. You are still changing.
I am getting used to drinking coffee.
Meaning, it was strange, and it is slowly becoming normal. Same words, 3 different meanings. Now let's take them one at a time. Structure 1. Subject plus used to plus a base verb. Here the word to is part of the infinitive, exactly like in want to go or need to leave. So what follows is a plain base verb: live, play, be, have.
My father used to work on a fishing boat.
And here is something important. This structure only exists in the past. There is no present version. If you want to talk about now, you simply use the present simple: my father works on a fishing boat. So what does used to actually tell your listener? 2 things. First, this was true repeatedly or continuously in the past. Not once, regularly, or for a long period. Second, and this is the part learners forget, it is no longer true today. The contrast with now is the whole point of the structure. It works for actions, like I used to cycle to school every morning. And it works for states, like I used to be afraid of dogs. You also do not need to add a time expression because used to already means back then. One limit: because it means a repeated or long-lasting past, it does not fit a single finished event. For a single event, use the past simple instead. Let's hear it in real sentences.
There used to be a cinema on this corner.
A past state that has ended. The building has gone. Notice the very useful pattern: they used to be.
We used to spend every summer at my grandmother's house.
A repeated routine that has stopped.
She used to have very long hair.
A past state with the verb have.
I didn't used to enjoy reading, but now I read every night. Did you used to walk to school?
Look carefully at those last 2. In the negative and the question, the letter D disappears. Used to, not used to. That is because did already carries the past tense, so the main verb goes back to its base form. Only the positive keeps the D. Here are all the forms in one table. Positive used to with the D plus a base verb.
Tran used to take the bus to work.
Negative didn't used to, no D plus a base verb.
Tran didn't used to take the bus.
Question did, subject, used to, base verb.
Did Tran used to take the bus?
And the short answer is simply yes, she did, or no, she didn't. You do not repeat used to because did already carries the tense. There is also an older, more formal negative used not to. It is correct, and you may meet it in literature, but it sounds old-fashioned in everyday speech. Didn't used to is the safe, everyday choice. Now, a close relative you should know about would. Both can describe the past, but they are not interchangeable. Used to works with everything, repeated actions, and also states such as be, have, live, know, and like. Would, on the other hand, works only with repeated actions. It is beautiful for storytelling.
Every summer we would swim in the river.
But you cannot say, I would live in Da Nang, when you mean that was your home. Live is a state, so only used to works there. Here is a safe rule. If you can actually picture the action happening, would is possible. If it is a situation rather than an action, only used to works. A nice trick for storytelling is to open with used to, and then switch to would for variety. Three mistakes. Number 1.
I used to play the guitar when I was young.
In the positive form, the D is compulsory. Without it, used to is just the present tense of the verb use, meaning employ. So we need, I used to play the guitar when I was young. Number 2.
Did you used to live in Darnamouth?
After did, the verb goes back to its base form. One past marker per verb phrase is enough. So, did you used to live in Da Nang? Number 3.
I used to living in Hanoi for 6 years.
Two problems here. Used to takes a base verb, never an ing form, and it cannot take a length of time like for 6 years because used to describes a habit, not a duration. If you want to give a duration, use the past simple. I lived in Hanoi for 6 years. Structure 2. Subject plus the verb be plus used to plus a noun or an ing form. And here is the key that unlocks everything. In this structure, used to is an adjective phrase and the word to is a preposition. It is the same to that you find in look forward to or object to. Prepositions are followed by nouns. So if you want to put a verb there, that verb must change into an ing form.
Ngok is used to the noise. Ngok is used to working late.
Here is a test you can use for the rest of your life. Try putting the word it after to. If I'm used to it sounds correct, then to is a preposition and a verb after it must be an ing form. So what does be used to tell your listener? It says this thing is familiar to me. It is not strange or difficult or surprising anymore. It describes a state, which means it does not tell us when that familiarity began, only that it exists. And notice that this is not a past structure at all. The verb be moves freely. I am used to, I was used to, I will be used to, I have been used to. You can also grade it. Quite used to, not really used to, not used to it at all. A more formal alternative you will meet in academic writing is accustomed to. The grammar is identical, so accustomed to working late follows exactly the same rule. Now let's move it through the tenses.
She's a nurse, so she is used to working night shifts.
Present state. Night shifts are normal for her.
By the end of the year, I was used to the weather.
A past state familiar at that point in the past. And notice that here we simply have a noun, the weather, with no ing at all.
After a month, you'll be used to the timetable.
A future state.
I'm not used to being interrupted.
The negative with a passive ing form after the preposition.
Are you used to living on your own yet?
And the question. Notice how naturally the word yet fits here. In every single one of those examples, what follows to is a noun or an ing form, never a base verb. Structure 3. Subject plus get plus used to plus a noun or an ing form. The grammar is identical to structure 2. The word to is still a preposition, so a noun or an ing form follows it. Only the first verb has changed from be to get, and that single change turns a state into a process.
It took me 6 months to get used to driving on the left.
In more formal writing, you will also meet become used to and occasionally grow used to. Same grammar, same meaning. And what does get used to tell your listener? That you are moving from strange towards familiar. It is a journey, not a place. Because it is a journey, it naturally attracts time expressions slowly, gradually, after a week, eventually. It is extremely natural in the continuous, as in, I'm still getting used to it. And it is the standard way to reassure somebody, don't worry, you'll get used to it. And when you put it into the past, I got used to it, that means the journey is finished. The strange thing has become normal. So if change is the point of your sentence, get used to is the structure you want. Cross the tenses.
I'm still getting used to my new schedule.
The continuous. The change is happening right now, and it is not finished.
He soon got used to the food.
Past simple. The journey is complete.
You'll get used to it faster than you think.
The future used as reassurance.
It took her a while to get used to speaking English every day.
And with can't.
I can't get used to waking up in the dark.
That means the change is refusing to happen. Now compare these two carefully. I am used to it means finished, it is familiar now. I am getting used to it means still in progress. This is the contrast that matters most, so let's slow down. Be used to is a state, it tells us where you are. The change has already happened, and you are describing how things feel now.
After 3 years in Tokyo, Hyun is used to the crowds.
Get used to is a process, it tells us how you got there. The change is happening, or it happened at a particular moment.
In their first month in Tokyo, Hyun got used to the crowds.
And you can put both in one sentence, which sounds wonderfully natural. I got used to the heat quickly, and now I'm completely used to it. Process first, state second. This is the number one trap in the whole topic, so let's face it directly.
I'm used to get up early.
Ron, in be used to, the word to is a preposition, and prepositions take nouns, so the verb must become an ing form. I'm used to getting up early.
She needs to get used to work in a team.
Wrong again, and this one catches strong learners because there is already an infinitive earlier in the sentence needs to get. But that does not change the rule for the second two. She needs to get used to working in a team. And now the mirror image.
I used to getting up early.
Also wrong. Here there is no be and no get, so to is part of the infinitive, and we need a base verb. I used to get up early. So the question is never, does to take ing. The question is always, is there a be or a get in front of used to? If yes, use ing. If no, use the base verb. Here is the master table. Screenshot this slide because it is the whole lesson in 5 rows. Used to, followed by a base verb, a finished past habit or state. Lynn used to eat meat. Be used to, followed by a noun or an ing form, a state of familiarity. Lynn is used to eating vegetarian food. Get used to, followed by a noun or an ing form, the process of becoming familiar. Lynn got used to eating vegetarian food. Would, followed by a base verb, for repeated past actions only. Lynn would cook every Sunday. And be accustomed to, the formal twin of be used to. Lynn is accustomed to a plant-based diet. Look at the second column. The only structure that takes a base verb is used to standing on its own. Everything with be or get in front of it takes a noun or an ing form. Now sound. This is where a lot of learners lose marks without realizing it. In both used to and be used to, the S is voiceless. It is an S sound, not a Z sound. And the word to is weak, reduced to a schwa. The 2 T sounds merge, so it really comes out as a single unit, used to. And notice that the habit structure and the familiarity structure sound absolutely identical. Only grammar tells them apart, never pronunciation. Compare that with the ordinary verb use in the passive.
This tool is used to open jars.
There you can hear a Z sound and a clear D, used. Completely different word. Saying used to when you mean a past habit is one of the fastest ways to sound a natural, so practice it as one unit, used to. Three more, and these are the ones that quietly cost marks.
She didn't used to smoke.
Didn't already shows the past, so the main verb returns to its base form. She didn't use to smoke.
I would have a dog when I was a child.
Have in that sentence is a state verb. It means own, and would cannot express past states. So we need, I used to have a dog when I was a child.
I am used to live here for 10 years.
This one is a double error. Be used to needs an ing form, and more importantly, it describes familiarity, not duration. If you want to say how long something has continued, that is the present perfect. I have lived here for 10 years. Let's talk about where this earns you marks in the speaking test. In part 1, questions about your childhood almost invite this structure.
Did you used to play any sports as a child?
Recognize it and answer with it.
I used to play badminton every weekend, but I gave it up when I started university.
Past habit plus the reason it stopped. In part 2, a card like describe a change you have made is built for get used to.
At first the early starts were brutal, but I gradually got used to them, and now I'm completely used to waking at 5.
Notice what happened there. Process first, then state inside one sentence. That is natural range, not memorized language. And in part 3, get used to describes gradual social change very neatly.
People are getting used to working from home.
Examiners reward flexible and accurate use of a range of structures, and moving between these 3 inside a single answer shows exactly that. Same structures work on paper. In task 2, used to gives you a clean, compact way to set up a then and now contrast.
Shoppers used to visit the high street every week. Today many of them order online.
Get used to lets you describe adaptation, which is one of the most common themes in the whole exam.
Older employees have had to get used to collaborating through video calls.
And in academic writing, the formal twin often reads better.
Consumers are now accustomed to next-day delivery.
In task 1, used to can be useful when a chart shows an old pattern that has since reversed. But be careful, Only use it for a period that has genuinely ended. If your chart runs right up to the present perfect or the past simple is usually the safer choice. Time to practice. Part A. Choose used to, be used to, or get used to, and then fix the verb after it. Pause the video and say your answers out loud. Out loud matters because that is how the pronunciation becomes automatic. Here are the 5 sentences.
Ryan, when I was a child, I walked to school every single day. So, don't worry about the noise from the street. You'll soon it. 3. She's a nurse, so she work night shifts. 4. I not like coffee, but now I drink it every morning. 5. It took me 6 months to drive on the left.
Pause now. Here are the answers. 1. Used to walk, a finished childhood routine, so used to plus the base verb walk. 2. Get used to it. The process has not happened yet, and after will we need the base form get, then simply the pronoun it. 3. Is used to working, a present state of familiarity, so be used to plus the ing form. 4. Didn't used to like, a negative past habit, and remember, after didn't the deed disappears. 5. Get used to driving. This one has 2 traps. After the infinitive to, we need the base form get, and then the preposition to forces the ing form driving. Part B. Same task, slightly harder.
Tits. You have long hair at school. 7. After a difficult first month, he finally the weather. 8. My grandmother still isn't used to smartphone. 5. They're B, the cinema here, but they knocked it down. Sends, I'm not B spoken to like that.
Pause the video. Number 10 is the hardest one in this lesson. The answers. 6. Did you used to have long hair at school? A question, so after did the deed disappears and have stays in its base form. 7. Got used to the weather. A completed process at a point in the past, and here it is followed simply by a noun. 8. Used to using a smartphone. The sentence already contains isn't, so this is the state structure and the preposition to forces the ing form using. 9. There used to be a cinema here, a past state that has ended. That pattern, there used to be, is worth memorizing as a whole chunk. And 10. The hard one. Used to being spoken to like that. It is be used to plus a passive ing form, so the verb be itself has to become being. If you got that one right, you have genuinely understood the rule. Practice 2. Every sentence below contains exactly one error. Find it and fix it.
5. And used to get up at 6. 2. Did you used to live in Darnams? 3. He is used to drive on the right. 4. I would live in here when I was younger. 5. She didn't used to smoke.
Pause and correct all 5 before the answers appear. Here they are, corrected. 1. I'm used to getting up at 6. There is a be in front of used to, so to is a preposition and it needs an ing form. 2. Did you used to live in Darnam? Did already carries the past, so the deed disappears. 3. He is used to driving on the right. Same preposition rule as number 1. 4. I used to live in Hugh when I was younger. Lived is a state verb and would cannot express past states. 5. She didn't used to smoke. Once again, didn't carries the past, so we need the base form. Finally, let's hear all three working together in one short conversation. Ben and Mai are invented characters written for this lesson. Mai has just moved to Hanoi for a new job. So how's the new job going?
Good, but the traffic is unbelievable. I used to cycle to work in my hometown. It was completely silent.
Are you used to the motorbikes yet?
Not at all. I'm still getting used to crossing the road.
You'll get used to it faster than you think, I promise.
I hope so.
6 months ago, I wasn't used to living in a big city at all, so I suppose I'm making progress.
Listen to the movement in that conversation. A finished past habit, I used to cycle. Then a state, are you used to? Then a process, I'm still getting used to. And then a past state, I wasn't used to living. That flexibility is what a high score sounds like. Five things to take away. Number 1, and this is the master key. Ask one question, is there a be or a get in front of used to? If yes, to is a preposition, so a noun or a name form follows. If no, to is an infinitive, so a base verb follows. Number 2, used to plus a base verb is a finished past habit or state. It is not true anymore, and that contrast with now is the whole point. Number 3, be used to is a state of familiarity, and it lives in any tense and was, will be, have been. It is not a past structure at all. Number 4, get used to is the process of becoming familiar. It is perfect with words like slowly, gradually, still, and eventually. And number 5, after did or didn't, the D always disappears. Did you used to? She didn't used to. One past markup of verb phrase is enough. And that is the whole topic. Here is your homework, and it takes 2 minutes. Write 3 sentences about your own life in the comments. 1 with used to, 1 with be used to, and 1 with get used to. I read them and I reply. If this lesson made something click, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Bmaster79. See you in the next one.